Yo, what's up? Um, Today I'm gonna be doing the data store tutorial. I'm gonna do it a little bit differently than I have before. So instead of like almost real time typing it, I'll just show you guys the script and I'll like break it down for you so you know what it means and like what each part of the code like does. So for this data store tutorial, basically what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be saving a couple tools in like a player's inventory. So I've kept a couple. These are just like placeholders, but they're like objects that I'm gonna be like data saving. These are like the things that'll be in your inventory. So here I'll just go ahead and show you guys what I mean. So I'm gonna grab myself. So I already have one sword inside my inventory. So this one object is in my inventory. I'm gonna grab another one. Okay, so now I have this other object, right? After this tutorial, what'll happen is each time you load into the game, it'll save what you had in your inventory. So as many of you guys know, you can't really save tools unless you have a data store script. So that's what I'll be doing today. So I'm gonna leave and then I'll rejoin after a little bit. Give it some time to save, and then when I hop in again, as you can see, I now have two objects. That's pretty cool, right? So how does this script work exactly? So here's the script. Let me make it bigger. Okay. So first I grab like the players and I get the data store service. And this is the name of the data store. So if you want to make a new data store, you would just write data store service, get data store, and just whatever you want to name the data store. But keep in mind, once you get a data store, that data store will be used, and then if you want to like change the values or reuse this data store, but for like a different purpose, you'll have to wipe that data store. Yeah. So this is just referencing the items that the player can get. So I put them in a folder called items in replicated storage, and they're called book, food, and sword. Now this right here, what it basically does, this part right here, so once a player is added and once the character has like loaded in, it'll check this data store, player items, and it'll get the values at this key. So the get async is the function to get the data, and then the parameter that you'll be putting in is the key. Now I usually use player's user ID because each player's user ID is unique. And you want to store like values at like a unique location each time, right? So like if a certain player's things will be saved in this one area, and I use the player's user ID to as that like specific spot in the data store. So then I check if the inventory, if the player actually like has any data in there. If there isn't any data, then it does nothing because they have no tools, right? Otherwise, I loop through the inventory and I take a copy. I go in here and I find whatever object I need and I put it inside like the player's backpack. That's what this part right here does. So this right here is like loading the data, right? So what about like updating the data, or what about setting the data? So whenever the player leaves, I check their backpack, their player backpack, which is where they keep like tools, and I loop through each object within the backpack, and I insert the name of the item into the player inventory table that I'm writing here. And then this code right here, Datastore set async, what it does is one of the parameters is the key, and the next one is what value you're setting the key to. So in this case, I'm taking the unique player ID, right? And I'm setting the value within there to be this table right here. So in other words, I'm setting the information within this key to the names of the items in the backpack. And if you look back at the loading script, you'll see that here's the value, right? Here's the index, here's the value, and here's the value within the data store, right? I'm looking for the item within this folder that is the value of what was inside the inventory. It's a little bit confusing, but that's how it works. I'm referencing that, and I'm basically using this value, which we saved as a name, right? The name of the item. So if like the name of the item was book right here, this would be book, and it's looking for whatever is called book within this folder called items. So to kind of like show you guys another example that I will be doing in real time, I'm going to save some just some other values, right? So besides just book, food, and sword, right? So what about if I wanted to save a if I wanted to save like something outside of tools? What if I just wanted to save like a player's like money? So here I will create a new value. Oh, well, not a new value, but just like a new thing to save. So we're gonna be saving the player's money now. So we need to load their money, right? And we need to create a new data store for their money. So I'm gonna create a new money data store equals data store service get data store, and you can name whatever you want this to be, money, but don't change it after you've like set up the name. Don't change it, or else it'll be a different data store. So I now have a new data store called money data store, and so local money would be data store money data store get async player dot user ID. So basically I'm getting the value of whatever was saved in the player's user ID within the money data store. And of course we're going to need to check if if there actually is something in there. Then I'm going to create a value within the player that will be called money. So local money value equals instance.new number value money value dot value equals money, right? We're not saving a table unlike this. We're just saving the amount of money they have, so it's not going to be a table. And then we need to parent the money value to I'll parent it to the character. So the money value should be within the character. So now we also need to save you know what, not within the character, let's put it within the player. So there we go. Now we want to save now that we have like we have a loading function for this, we need a saving function for the money, right? So Datastore, money Datastore, set async. This is like updating user ID, and we update the user ID slot, and then the value would be the player. Oh wait, back to here. You should name this money value to money. Player.money.value. So if we do have money, then do this. Otherwise, we do the same thing, except the value is 0 because you don't have money. Now we need a way to get money, of course, but to keep this video simple, I'm just gonna manually change the amount of money that we have. Oh, and we can't really see how much money we have, right? So I will be utilizing the print function, and it should print out in the output like how much money you have. So print money dot value, right? Wait, money value dot value. Whoops. There we go. And I guess we can put it both here so we can know how much money we have. Okay, so let's try this out. Let's play the game. See how much money we have. It'll print here. Okay, so we have 0 money. See how it printed out right there? Right here, 0 money. Now I'm gonna switch over to the server, find our player, and see how he has a money value right here. I'm gonna change that money value to like 100. So now our player should have 100 money. Okay, so I'm gonna wait, and then I'm just gonna leave. All right. Now, once I load back in, we should have, yeah, 100 money. See? So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the data store. To summarize, get async gets the value at this key, at the key that you would provide. You can change the key however you'd like. But I typically use player.userid because that way it's like easy to keep track of where each player's data is. I really wouldn't recommend using anything else unless like you really want to and know what you're doing. Get data store is just getting a data store that you can like name whatever you want, and once it already exists, it'll just get that data store. Set async is like updating. It'll update whatever was in this at this key to this value. The second parameter is the value. The first value is the first parameter is the key. So yeah, those are the basics of data store. And next video, I think I'll do something a little bit more interesting. This was kind of a little bit boring, but yeah. So if this video was like helpful at all, make sure you like and subscribe. You know what I mean? It'll really help our channel grow. And currently, we're at 922 subscribers as of this recording. We're pretty close to 1,000. If we hit 1,000, guys, I'll do a special video. It'll be a tutorial, and let's just say that a lot of people are wanting this tutorial, and I might make it if we hit 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, comment down also what you want to see me do next. That'll be really helpful for me, and you might be able to see what your your suggestion be made in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.